Let's begin, guys. It's been a couple of weeks, I think maybe even 3 weeks since we last spoke. So, how's it going out there?
Good, yeah, really good. We are finished production on the African Space Project. Just
Wow.
had our wrap party last night. So, yeah, things are exciting.
Congratulations. Big hand for that.
Yeah.
It's always a feat to film anything, and you guys filming, across the ocean, across the world. What a challenge. So amazing that you got it all in the can.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was a bit of a whirlwind for sure.
I bet. Time just flies, right? Like last time we were speaking, you guys were just starting production. You just finished finding all your cast and you were really happy with everyone. And now it's all done. So tell us what it was like. Did the cast live up to your expectations?
Oh, yeah, they exceeded expectations for sure. They were amazing. Like, they showed up every day early. They were amazing talent, super nice people, lifelong friends now. Yeah, blown away by everybody we worked with.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy because we went into it. We didn't really know, like, it was totally improvised
Right.
for the most part. So I didn't really know how that whole process would go, but just really talented people that it's such a oral tradition here that these guys kind of almost grew up acting. So it just ended up working out really good.
So let's talk a little bit more about that improvisation, that aspect, because what were some of the biggest challenges of that? And then, on the other hand, what were some of the surprises? I guess in a way you're already saying that because there is such an oral tradition in certain parts of the world, it made it easier for them to just kind of riff. But what were some of the big challenges?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I guess sometimes it was just hard to understand the direction, I guess, and where people's certain motivations. But then once they kind of understood where we were going with the story and the motivation behind the characters, I think they would kind of just fill in the blanks, which was awesome. And I didn't really expect to work out so well, but they just, once they started rolling with something, they would just keep going. And I didn't even really have to say anything. They would just kind of give it a whole new angle that I wouldn't even really have thought of.
Yeah, they were having fun with it, and like what we thought we knew of an African story that's kind of inspired by, they really get it, like the local culture more, and brought like what we wanted into the story even more. Like we couldn't even thought of that line.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, it was way better doing it that way.
Were there any challenges in terms of this being, not a sci-fi movie, but because it involved space, like that whole aspect of talking about spacecraft or space exploration, was that a challenge for the actors at all?
Actually, no, because they didn't necessarily know a whole lot about space travel, but they know about being resourceful. So the movie was a lot about these DIY astronauts, basically. They were just kind of building and developing their own program. So they knew a lot about that. Like, that's what they do. They're the most resourceful. They don't really even say no to anything.
Yeah.
Even if they don't know how to do something, they're just like, I'll figure it out.
So sort of like transferable skills here we're talking about.
Yeah, for sure. If anything, like inspired them to maybe make their own rocket.
Yeah. Wow. So we may be seeing an actual African space project in reality soon.
I hope so.
Yeah, maybe I hope so. Sure.
So Emily, what were some of the challenges in terms of you're on the ground there, and like what about craft services? What about the weather? Did you have any unforeseeable issues that came up in that way?
Oh, we were really lucky with the weather. Like one day, right when we stopped shooting that day, it started to pour with rain. Like all of the filming was outside. Everything was in natural light. So we were really lucky. The 11-year-old girl just had a certain number of days that she could miss from school. So it was like if it rained on those days, we kind of would have been screwed because the other main character wasn't available on weekends. So the weather was amazing. It couldn't have been better. Craft services, that was interesting because we basically, like Mark said, they don't really say no to anything here. So you can figure things out last minute, but that was one of the more last minute things. Like I think it was 10 p.m. the night before we were starting production at like 8 a.m. the next day. And we found a cook to cook for us. Basically, we just brought him to set, bought the like meat and rice and food in the morning, and then we were just outside in a big field at Mark's brother's property actually, and he just makes a fire outside, so we just had to bring like pots and pans and dishes, and then he just cooked everything outside on the fire, and yeah, it worked out. We had like fresh, delicious meals every day on set.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And like a little personal chef.
A lot of times how it works too, it's like
Chief
if
cooker.
if you ask somebody and they can't do it, or they'll call somebody, or if that
Right.
person can't do it, they'll call some. It's just until they can connect, and it's a super connected environment here, so they can just bop and figure
Yeah.
it out just super fast. So
Well, I guess that's ultimately guerrilla styles right there. Like, just it's word of mouth and knowing somebody who knows somebody who can do what you need them to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
It's nice. It's like if they're not available, their brother or cousin is.
Right.
yeah,
Which is kind of nice. It's also that community sort of feeling that, we'll make sure that you're taken care of. If I can't take care of you, I'll find somebody who can.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah.
for sure.
And you said it was all outdoor filming, so there were no sets, no indoor locations?
Oh, I guess we did film inside for just a couple of scenes. Like it would have been the home of the lead character.
Right.
But the whole like rocket site training program, everything was outside.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd say probably
If you wanted to do natural light.
probably just 95% of it. Just because
Amazing.
and the thing is, we wanted to use mostly natural light because of how fast you can move when you're using lights, and even just traveling with lights.
Just
Right.
simplifying like costs and
just-
equipment
Sure.
and efficiencies and
It-
stuff.
it
That's
just-
why we went that route.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
just takes out a whole variable, and then you can move way faster because when you're doing different light setups, it just takes so much time up.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, probably about 95%, and then we would just work with whatever lighting was kind of around us, and we could just shape it in a way that kind of looked cool.
Very neat. So now you guys are finished production. What's next? How long are you going to stay there to wrap up, and what can
Yeah,
we
so-
expect?
So yeah, last night we had our wrap party with the actors. We did it like African style. It's called Yamachoma, and it's like beef on the fire. So we had a big party here at our place and invited like the neighbors and local friends we've made, family, and like it was such a fun wrap party. It ended up turning into an African style impromptu dance party for like 3
Awesome.
hours in the field. It was really awesome. So that was officially the end of production. So now we're just a couple more weeks here in Africa. We're gonna go actually chill on the beach and just like decompress next week.
Right.
And then we're back to Canada for post.
Great. So what's your arrival date expected back in Canada?
March 1st.
Okay, so you still have a bit of time. Wow.
Yeah, we do. We still have a bit of time.
Maybe
So we've got
now
some
you can
fam-
focus on the fact that you're a newly engaged couple and sort of enjoy a little bit of that, right?
Enjoy, yeah, a little engagement,
Yeah.
getaway to the beach,
Yeah.
and Mark's father's side of the family's here, so we've got a few family things, and then yeah, just wrapping it up at the end of the month here.
Very nice. Well, guys, it's been so cool to see how it's been going ever since we first spoke to you at the airport back in December.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was cold. It was cold back then.
It's still cold. It's still cold over here. So, don't rub it in our faces that you're going to be lying on a beach. But we'll live vicariously through you.
Okay.
So let's check in when you're back off your vacation. I mean, just to hear how things are wrapping up over there, and we'll take it from there.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That sounds
Yeah,
great.
Thanks, Priya.
Okay, guys, have a great day, and congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
Okay, bye.